Hello, Shima girls. Hello. It's Shima. Yes, it's me. It's me. How have we been doing? As usual, I've been hanging in there. Just, just doing me. I'm just doing me. you know, Eating healthy, exercising, growing my hair. And basically, of course, we're going to talk about hair care and, proper hair care practices. That's what my channel is about, helping us Black women of all ethnicities, to grow out our hair to fairy tale mythical lengths. Okay. Or at least shatter that myth, that we can't grow our hair past shoulder length. But yeah, today I want to focus on a specific topic, and that specific topic, I might title the video this subject, and that is, does cultural identity determine long hair? Okay, because a lot of us, when we're newbies, when we don't know no better, we believe that, yeah, cultural identity does determine whether your hair is gonna be super long or just, not grow past shoulder length. Okay, so let's tackle that. Let's tackle it. Okay, I happen to be Afro-Cuban. Okay, those of you that have been with me for the longest time, since 2007, you know that Shima is Afro-Cuban. Okay, I consider myself to be a Black Latina. If you have my memoir, The Other Hiroshima, then you will know, what I've gone through with my race and things of that nature. And that there's a subject there that I titled Black Latina, and that's what I consider myself as. I was raised in the African American community for a large portion of my life. I came from Cuba when I was 2 years old with my twin brother, Nagasaki. I am Hiroshima. And we lived in Miami Beach for a couple of years first. Okay, Miami Beach at the time in 1980, it was pretty mixed, blacks, white Americans, Hispanics, it was pretty mixed, and it's still mixed pretty much, even more so. And then, about 10 years later, when I was 9 to 10 years old, we totally lived in the Black community. We were among just one of the only Hispanic, family in the neighborhood, Afro-Cuban family, because even though we're Hispanic, the society still considers us Black. So, yeah. And there was just one more other person that was a Latino, but she was, her skin color was considered white. Okay. So we were able to assimilate much easier, because of the skin color. I'm just telling you the reality of my situation. And I had the time of my life, those were the good old days. We're talking about the 80s. So, I love the 80s and stuff like that. There were some challenges, but for the most part, all of the kids in the neighborhood, we got along with, I played, hopscotch and, jumping rope. And I was part of a cheerleading team in the neighborhood. I went to it mostly in all Black school as well. But there were in the school, there were a lot more, different races in the school than in my neighborhood. But it was basically, I would say, 85 to 90% Black school. Okay. So, yeah, that's a background. And getting back to hair care, I also struggled trying to grow my hair. Okay. Because inherently I had dry hair and I didn't know how to take care of dry hair the proper way to help it to grow, until I became of age, way later in life, in my early 20s, I didn't really learn how to take care of my hair. And yeah, so after I knew the right products and the right techniques, my hair wouldn't but shoulder length. So, but once I learned the right products and the right techniques, my hair budged from shoulder length, and now it reaches the waist. Okay, I had cut my hair about 3 years ago, all the relaxer off, because relaxers were doing damage to my health. Suffer from fibroids and things of that nature. I was trying to get away from anything that's chemical. and I cut all of the relaxed hair. Did the big chop. You'll see it in my videos, okay, from 3 years ago, February the 12th, I believe, 2022, 23, 2022, 3, 4, 22, around there, 2022, I cut my hair, and then I started over on the big chop. My hair has flourished, so I was able to prove that black hair, Afro-textured hair that's dry, can grow whether it's relaxed and even natural, like I am now today, 100% natural, like totally 100% natural, like virgin natural hair now, because I haven't put no flat irons to my hair. I haven't put no permanent hair dyes to my hair, no chemical treatment whatsoever. Of course, I've never relaxed my hair again. So 100,000% natural. And I've been having a good time with it ever since. I do, eventually I'll delve into trying to straighten my hair. But so far, I've been having good results straightening with just a roller set. So, yeah. So that was a little background of me. Okay. Especially I like to, go into my background every now and then, because I get newbie subscribers and newbie Shima Girl customers that also purchase my products, and they would like to know, they will be curious to know, my background, my ethnicity, and that it doesn't matter if you're mixed, and it doesn't matter if you're quote unquote full black. If you don't know the right hair care practices, and if you're not using the right hair care products that caters to black hair, like my Shima hair products do, you're going to be struggling growing out your hair. You're going to be struggling having healthy hair, period. Okay. So does cultural identity determine long hair? With everything I said, you should know the answer to that by now. So cultural identity, ladies, is not what allows us to grow and retain hair length. Okay. So let's get that out of the way. All right. Good hair care practices and the right hair care growth products, okay, is what's going to determine whether we're going to have long hair or stay stagnant at shoulder length. Okay. So again, good hair care practices and good hair care products determines whether or not we're going to have long, healthy, Afro-textured hair. I hope you ladies are practicing good hair care practices. I really do, because that's what's going to determine whether your hair is going to grow or not. Okay, the real deal, not what background you are, what race you are, what color you are, ladies. Okay, so I came on YouTube in the year 2007. So I've been here doing my thing since 2007. And if any of you old school Shima girls remember, back then I was attacked, relentlessly. I was attacked for not being black enough. Okay. All of that. As I told you before, I am Afro-Cuban and I consider myself a black Latina. And well, they wanted, at the beginning, I was very shy. I didn't show my face, but once I did show my face and that my hair really was long, then the other attacks came. Oh, you must be mixed, or, you got that good hair and that's why you can grow your hair. I got all of that. Okay. So yeah. Little did they know that I also suffered from dry, brittle hair that full of split ends and hair breakage. But, before I learned the right hair care practices, before I created my own Shima hair growth line, I suffered from all that, and I wasn't able to grow out my hair past shoulder length. Yes, it will grow, but it will always get to that plateau. The average of black women plateaus around shoulder length. Okay. And the thing is, once it budges from that, guess then what we're attacked for? That we're wearing weaves, we're wearing extensions, we're wearing wigs, we get attacked because, stereotypically speaking, many people don't see, Afro-textured hair that's real in its natural state that long past shoulder length without being a weave, extensions, or wigs. And that's why I came online in the year 2007 to shout it at the top of my lungs, to anybody who will listen to me, that will hear me, that yes, Afro-textured hair, black woman's hair, can grow to fairy tale mythical lengths. The thing is, we've been taught the wrong way. We've been using all the wrong hair care products, clogging up our pores, making our hair heavy, using sulfates, which dries out our hair even more, over relaxing our hair, and then of course with the weaving, over weaving our hair, leaving the weaves on too long. It's so much that has gone into, plateauing us and not allowing our Afro textured hair to thrive, okay, and grow long. Okay. I also was criticized, for my hair, excuse the term, not being nappy enough, and then they got into the classification of the type 4As, type 4Cs. Oh, you're not type 4C because, that's that hair, that type 4C is harder to grow than your hair. You look like a 3A. Believe me, back then I didn't know what. I didn't know that they had created this hair typing chart, and thankfully I wasn't into no hair typing chart. I didn't know what a hair typing chart was when I was growing out my hair, when I was developing my products, because that would have been something extra to complicate my journey to longer, healthier Afro textured hair. Well, guess what, ladies? None of that mattered. At the end of the day, none of that mattered. Because once I did prove that not just African American women can grow their hair to great lengths, fairy tale mythical lengths, to be more specific, but Black women of all ethnicities can grow their hair to fairy tale mythical lengths. Okay. And the videos are right there in my history, the tab of the history of my videos on YouTube. You can go back, to the 2008, 9, and 10 and see for yourself that our beautiful Black women of all ethnicities were able to shatter the myth, that Black hair can grow past shoulder length, using my protective styling techniques and using my Shima hair growth products, which I catered uniquely, to the unique requirements of Afro textured hair. And that's what we need, products that caters to the unique dry, requirements, because the main thing we suffer from is that hair dryness. I cannot stress it enough. That hair dryness is what's stopping us as Black women from all ethnicities from having very long hair that's past shoulder length. Okay. So once we tackle that hair dryness, our hair 99% of the time is gonna, grow long and healthy. Okay. Everything else will come together. The trimming of the ends, the sleeping with the silk, scarves and the satin hair bonnets, stretching the relaxer process, just gentle handling, all of that will come to you. But the main thing is get the products that wipes out hair dryness, and stay to the protective styling, ladies. Keep those ends out of the air, out of the environment, away from your own hands, and you're going to see your hair grow very, very long. So when I say Black women from all ethnicities, okay, to be specific, I'm meaning, for example, our Haitian Black woman, our Dominican Black woman, our Jamaican Black woman, our Caribbean Black woman, our Panamanian Black woman, our Puerto Rican Black woman, Black Japanese Black woman, our Chinese Black woman, the all ethnicities, because we come from all over the world. Okay, a beautiful Black woman come from all over the world. We're born all over. I happen to be born in Cuba. If you're African American, 9 times out of 10 you happen to be born here in America. Okay, if you're Haitian, and you were born in Haiti, you just happen to be born in Haiti. If you're Jamaican, and you happen to be born, in your own hometown, you just happen to be born there. But we are Black women from all over the world. Okay, and 9 times out of 10 we have the same issues, same problems with our hair. It's dry, it breaks, it's thinning, it's fragile, it's fine hair, or if it's too coarse, you still need, the right techniques and hair products to address, your hair if it's too coarse. But mostly we need help with the same issues. Okay, and the same issues always go back to the right proper hair care techniques, so the right proper hair growth products. So 9 times out of 10, that's what we need. We just need to retain the growth that has already produced. If you're suffering from other issues of traction alopecia, severe hair baldness, then you need to consult with your dermatologist and experienced hair technician to help you address those issues, because that means your follicle has been, damaged. And when the follicle is damaged, then that's why your hair, has issues growing from the roots. But most of us, our hair is growing from the roots. It's just that it breaks at the same time it grows out. And we need to stop that breakage. If we can just find a way to stop that hair breakage, then we're good, okay? And the ways that it works, 9 times out of 10, the protective styling and the right moisturizing hair products. So ladies, if you are new to my channel, or if you're still in the midst of trial and error, you're trying, you're trying the protective styling, you're trying the products, you're trying, all kinds of things, they help you grow out your hair, but you still feel like, it's still not working for you, then you need to ask yourselves, are you actively practicing good hair care practices? Are you really doing the protective styling the way it needs to be done, not have some of the hair out, or removing your protective style before, at least 7 days are up? You need to leave your protective styling at least, I would say 2 weeks on up, to really preserve, to really retain that hair growth, ladies. Okay, are you moisturizing your hair every day? Meaning don't remove your protective styles, you moisturize. Once you do your hair bond, once you do your 2-strand twist, once you do your braids, leave your protective style in place. Do not unravel it. Just moisturize the bulk, the outside of the hair. Are you doing that without removing the protective style? Because the thing is, we need low manipulation techniques. The more you leave your hair alone, the more it's going to thrive. The healthier it will become, ladies. Okay? So make sure you're leaving your protective styles in place as you're moisturizing your hair. Whether you're using Mashima homemade hair butter or Mashima hair argan oils, okay, but leave your protective style in place as you moisturize once you create, the protective style. So far, what are we learning here, ladies? Well, what I hope that we're learning is that it doesn't matter whether, we're mixed or quote unquote full black, as some of us like to say, okay? Again, if you are not practicing proper hair care practices, proper hair care techniques, and if you're not using the right hair care products that properly cater to Afro-textured hair, our hair, okay, that suffers from hair dryness 90 to 99% of the time, if you're not doing any of these things, okay, then you are probably struggling growing out your hair, and it doesn't need to be that way. Some other black woman or girl that thinks that her hair cannot grow, okay, or if it does grow, that she's complaining that it's growing out too slowly. Natural hair, Afro-textured hair shrinks, ladies. That's why it's going to quote unquote look short. It's going to quote unquote look as if it's not growing at all, when it is growing, when it is long, when it's longer than some of the non-black, girls and women out there. All right, we need to understand that. And this is why you're going to see many naturals, take a straightening comb and straighten their hair to show off the length of their hair in a straightened form. Okay, because when it's in this curly form, it's shrunk, it's up to here. You see how mine is up to here, but then when you pull it down, okay, it's long, 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 long. Okay, when you pull it down, it's long. Okay. All right, this is without using a straightening comb, okay? This is without using a straightening comb. I just pulling it down with my own, thumbs, with my own thumb and hands, okay? So again, the appearance of natural hair, ladies, is due to its tighter curl pattern. This is just a tighter curl pattern that we have, and that's why it needs a different approach, okay? With what I keep showing you and teaching you through testimonials, through verbiage since 2007, the protective styling, the gentle handling, the right hair care products. Okay, it needs a different approach to hair care because of its natural curl pattern. Okay, so let's not get discouraged, ladies. Okay, because our hair can grow and has grown with consistent, proper black hair care practices. So with that said, let me end the video here, ladies. I hope that I have encouraged you. I hope that, you don't give up on your Shima hair growth journey, that you're using the right Shima hair growth products. Go to my ShimaHairCare.com and you're going to see my hair products listed right there. That's going to cater uniquely to our individual needs as black women with dry Afro-textured hair. Each product is going to do something to help us grow our Afro-textured hair to the length we desire, ladies. Okay, so make sure you check out my official website, shimahaircare.com, when it comes to the right hair care products. Make sure you always check out my YouTube channel, Shima Hair 21, for more information and techniques and testimonials on how to, practice proper black hair care, for our hair, okay, to grow, thrive, and grow to fairy tale mythical names. Okay, Shima girls, thank you, and I'll be back soon. Take care. God bless.